Good afternoon, everyone. Back again, Chad Thomas, Regional Vice President of BetterUp. And we're really excited to do this session today on how to meditate like a pro athlete. And so I have the honor of bringing in Pau Gasol, one of my favorite all-time big men, and now post his career has done some pretty incredible things. And for those who don't know Pau's record, let me just read this off a bit. Pau Gasol is a six-time NBA All-Star, a two-time NBA champion, and a three-time Olympic medalist. And so for those that were able to catch Pau's earlier session today with kicking off in a workday with a mindful moment, I hope that set everybody at a good pace and to be in the right headspace to have this conversation today. And so we've invited Pau back to actually have a deeper conversation on how meditation and mindfulness has actually helped him as a professional, both on and off the court. Pau, so excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Chad. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and with all of you and talk about meditation and mindfulness.
Yeah, well, Pau, I want to just get things kicked off. You know, we've heard from a lot of different experts today on the power of inner work and how doing that intentional work to make sure our psychological resources inside are whole, that we're calm, that we're focused. But I think we could all benefit a bit from hearing from your personal experience. And so I really like to understand, how has inner work impacted your life as a player and now going to the next phase of life post-retirement?
Well, it's been very important. Just as you practice and you prepare your body physically, you also have to practice and strengthen your mind and work on your mind and your emotions. So it's just pretty much understanding that that's also has to be part of your preparation. And it's something that you try to do, incorporate as a habit in your daily routine. It's something that just comes out naturally, and little by little you see the results. So it's very important to be mentally aware, emotionally aware of what's going on with you in your life, and be very intentional as well, right? With what you want to do, where are you, where you want to go, etc. How you feeling? And that's how it's helped me in my provide me with balance throughout my career, and also now in the next phase, next chapter.
You know, I like that you said intentional, because I want to sort of start back at the beginning. When you joined the league just a few years ago, I can't imagine that the word meditation or mindfulness was something that a lot of teams or a lot of players would often talk about, like, at all. I just know what the league was like. So can you bring us back to that moment? Like, what was going on with you personally that made you even want to start to investigate a bit more into this practice?
Well, definitely I did not hear the concept of mindfulness and meditation prior, really my arrival to LA with Phil Jackson. Before, it was just like many other kids or athletes that make it into the league, it's you're fulfilling a dream. Right. Your dream is coming true, something that you have worked for and you really dreamt for many years as a kid and a teenager, comes to fruition. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of emotion, a lot of joy, also a lot of pressure. Because it's a very competitive league. Everyone's trying to do well. Everybody's fighting for the spot. Everybody wants to play. Everybody feels like they can play, and not everyone can or will. So yeah, going through those ups and downs is challenging. But when I got to LA and I got exposed to meditation through Phil, was an eye-opening, really an eye-opening. At first it was like weird. I was like, okay, what's going on? But like everything else that you feel it's worth trying and it can have a very positive effect in your life, you give it a try and you see everyone else around you really buying in and taking it seriously, and you start giving it a try, and then you see the effects, the payoff. You're scratching the surface of something that it's unknown. And it's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but then little by little, you're like, okay, this is something. There's something here that I need to continue to pursue.
Yeah. Do you remember a specific moment when you first started with meditation, like when you did that and sort of how you felt afterwards, like cognitively or physically?
Yeah, I did. There was a certain sense of relief physically, of relaxation, kind of a little bit of a weight coming off your shoulders. And then I think mentally and emotionally, there was a level of connectivity also because we did team sessions
Hmm.
with the rest of the guys in the video room, and lights off, everybody just breathing together. And there was a certain level, like I said, of connecting with your teammates, knowing that we're in this together. We're on a quest to try to do something special, to win a championship. And we were able to do that for 2 years in LA with three straight finals. We gave ourselves three chances and we capitalized on two of them.
Yeah,
And those moments really of coming together, of focusness, of blocking the noise.
yeah.
They were powerful.
I appreciate that. And, we look at meditation at BetterUp as just a form of inner work. And so, focusing on that inner work clearly has had some impact positively to you as a player and now off the court. I'm curious, though, if we can think a little bit more about you as an athlete, because you can focus and being in top physical peak performance is really important. But there's this other component, right, which is mental fitness, which I might argue is just as important, or if not more important, right? If your mental health is not in a great place, then it's going to be hard for you to physically perform. And I mean, we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years, athletes from every single sport have talked about the challenges they faced in mental health. And that vulnerability hasn't always been met with, I'd say empathy or sympathy, but sometimes with shame. Can you talk to us about what are the conversations happening in sports today about the challenges of mental health?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, luckily today, and thanks to all those athletes that have been brave to speak about their mental health and their emotional state, it's created a much bigger conversation, and it's given mental health the attention that it deserves. So there's no question that mental health will affect your performance, whether it's on the court as an athlete or whether it's at your job or at home with your family. When you're feeling depressed or anxious or really worried, sad, vulnerable, extra vulnerable, grieving, whatever it might be, pressured, it affects your actions, your behavior. We've seen a lot of athletes that you're accustomed to seeing them perform at such a high level, and athletes are viewed sometimes as superhumans, but we're not, or we're human beings that we've been gifted with a specific athletic talent or an ability to play a game a certain way. But we're human beings. We have emotions. Things go on in our life, and it's hard to talk about them at times, especially openly, publicly, or even in the locker room. Because it's hard to show vulnerability in the locker room with a sport that is so competitive. It is hard to kind of open up. But now more, or I think I would say all teams have a sports psychologist on board, a door open to be able to share those struggles or those moments and kind of weather them with support instead of just by yourself. So I'm glad that a lot of progress has been made, and I'd like to continue to see it grow. Because again, there's just a lot of challenges that go on for people and for athletes that are under the scope or under pressure,
Yeah.
and they're not provided or don't have the tools to be able to handle those situations, just like many other people, right? No one is really is born with all the tools to deal with the adversity that life throws at you, and so I'm glad that things are going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I think we've made so much progress just with us being able to talk about it a bit more in sport or even publicly here. Debunking that shame around something going on with your mental health and hiding it. We're seeing that's also showing up in the workplace. And what I think is really incredible is just how you've still been able to prioritize this concept of meditation and mindfulness. If I think about your life post the league, you have the docuseries going on with Amazon Prime. You're leading the Pau Gasol Foundation. I mean, you're doing business ventures with BetterUp and other organizations, yet you still take the time to meditate. can you tell us, like, how has that meditation helped you manage all of these various hats that you're wearing?
Again, it keeps you centered and it keeps you mindful, and it keeps you in touch with your emotions, and your body as well. So again, I've gone through different, depending of what I'm going through. I like to meditate more in the morning, or I like to do it more at night. If I do it more at night, which has been kind of what I've done lately for the last few years, it's more to decompress, allow and help my body shut down, to get good quality sleep, to be thankful for another great day, but also to listen to my body, listen to my mind, and say, okay, what's hurting, what is carrying a little more tension, or what am I struggling with, and usually your mind will let you know. But again, at night is when I decompress. I use guided meditation, and I go to bed. It's been a little more challenging sometimes with the baby, but you gotta find a way to do it, and then you shift it. If you can't do it before bed, and when you're in bed laying down, I do it in the morning, and then you start up the day, and you start with a body scan, with a gratitude. It's a fresh start. It's a new day, to do great, to learn, to thrive, and you go into it with a different type of mindset, with intentionality as well. As like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it gives you that energy and that edge going into a new day.
Yeah. I want to just think about this for the folks that aren't, clearly a two-time NBA champion, have played in professional sports and are moguls, but just talking about sort of the everyday person. I'm sure a lot of people say they don't have the time to meditate, or they don't know how, or they're not sure that's a priority. What advice would you give someone that's struggling to figure out how to make time to be mindful?
Well, it really doesn't take that much time at all. I was hanging out with a friend yesterday, and he was listening to this podcast. I can't remember who it was from, and he said, meditation, sometimes it could be just as short as taking 3 deep breaths.
Yeah.
3 long deep breaths of just noticing and feeling the air going into your body, into your lungs, being present, acknowledging where you are, who you are, being thankful for being here in this moment, being alive, and then kind of relaxing a little bit. If you're going into a meeting, if you're going into an appointment, if you're going through, about to start a workout, say, hey, I'm gonna have a good meeting, or I'm gonna have a good a good workout, and it just kind of like gives you, and it could be, again, 30 seconds. I would suggest that if you have the time, say, hey, 5 minutes a day is we waste so much time probably during the day with our phones and technology.
Yes.
And again, it could be as little as 30 seconds, or it could be as long as 15, 30 minutes, to start off your day, to go to bed. There's obviously decompressing, sleeping meditations, and
Sure.
just kind of, hey, I'm having a stressful day. It's a lot going on in my life. Let me just decompress. Let me just listen to this meditation and just relax so I can get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. So, Pal, with your amazing accomplished career, I'm wondering if you can recall a specific game or moment during your NBA career where you actually saw the benefits of meditation and mindfulness. Could you explore that a bit with us?
Yes, absolutely. There's been many games. I've had the privilege to play big games, where we fought for championships, playoff runs, finals, many finals with my national team as well. And I think the times where I faced those moments, and when I did it more successfully, is when I was able to really be in tune with myself, to be really present, to block off all the noise, all the pressure. And it just kind of, you put yourself in that mindset of going into a game where it's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready mentally, I'm ready physically, I'm ready emotionally.
Awesome.
And I recall that game 7, actually that game 7 against the Celtics. at Staples Center.
Yeah.
And we won that championship in 2010. I remember the day before going to the beach and just sitting down by myself. Usually when you put yourself around or surrounded by nature, whether it's on the beach by the ocean, or it's in the mountain, or in a garden or a park, in a quiet place by yourself, that's where you can really focus and be at peace and be in an environment where it's more conducive to have a good session without any distractions or interference. So I remember just sitting on the beach. I say, hey, look at this. I'm in a beautiful place. I'm in a quiet place. Tomorrow's a big day. I'm going to give it my best. I'm ready. We're going to get this win. And that was an epic game, an epic moment in my career.
Yes.
In Lakers history. One of the probably toughest and best series in NBA history, and obviously a great outcome for us. It wasn't the prettiest game. I remember it was like, I don't know, it was like 83-79 score, which would be unimaginable today in today's game.
Exactly.
But we were so resilient. We fought our way back into the game. We fought our way back into the victory, and it was just incredible.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, Pal, you've really made it clear that even in these micro moments of meditation and mindfulness, we can all actually decompress and just expand our mind a little bit by slowing down. So I really appreciate you coming out for this session today. Thank you so much for all the work you're continuing to do with BetterUp. And for everyone that's tuned in, I hope that you've been able to get some inspiration on how you can incorporate meditation and mindfulness as a normal part of your daily or your weekly routine. So Pal, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
Chad, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the conversation. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I hope, meditation becomes an important part of your life, and you'll see the results. Yeah, I can guarantee it.
Thank you so much. And so everybody, we have one more session left today. And this is one you absolutely do not want to miss. Join us as our CEO, Alexei Robichaud, and our Chief Impact Officer, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, bring along the legendary Serena Williams to facilitate a conversation on how we can all boldly commit to inner work. It's not one you don't want to miss. See you there. As always, peace and blessings.